Thank you for purchasing the MRI Virtual Scanning Experience software, developed by Cinean in partnership with the University Hospitals Plymouth NHS Trust. We recommend you watch this guidance video several times prior to using the virtual reality software with patients, to ensure the headset and bed are calibrated correctly and that you are confident in using the software. Firstly, ensure the headset and controllers are fully charged prior to commencing the appointment, and that the floor space is free of any obstructions. Before donning the headset, position yourself on the bed your patient will use during the virtual scanning experience. We recommend using a bed with side restraints to prevent patients from falling during the VR experience. Turn on the headset, place it on your head, and follow the headset setup instructions. Once complete, select the MRI Virtual Scanning Experience application from the Oculus menu to launch the simulation. Once the simulation has launched, you will find yourself in this virtual MRI scanning room. You will see a menu in front of you. Reach out with your controller and select either Watch Tutorial or Set Bed Height by hitting with your hand the option you require, or select Skip to continue. The tutorial option will play this video on a screen. To set the bed height, select the option on the menu and then place your hand on the real-world bed. Push the joystick either up or down with your right-hand controller until your virtual hand appears to sit on top of the virtual bed, like this. When you are ready to begin, select Start Simulation. You can then remove the headset, wipe clean the face surround, ready for patient participation. After you have briefed your patient on what they will experience during the VR session, sit your patient on the centre of the bed and hand them the headset. Ensure it is adjusted to fit, is comfortable for the wearer, and the lenses are adjusted to ensure the image is clear. Once the headset is calibrated and your patient is comfortable, gently lay them back onto the bed, supporting their head with a pillow to ensure comfort, and hold down this button. This will set the patient's position. Guide the patient back to a seated position and their virtual scanning experience can begin. To begin the experience, press the X button on your left-hand controller. The patient will then see a virtual radiographer who will brief them on what they can expect during their scan, as they would in the real world. Once this briefing is finished, gently guide your patient as they lie back onto the bed. Once they are ready to begin, press the trigger button on the right controller, which will begin the virtual scan. Press this same button to bring them out of the scanner. You may talk to your patient throughout the scan and withdraw them from the scanner if they are uncomfortable. The patient should also be briefed that they can remove the headset at any time should they become anxious or uncomfortable. Once they have completed the scan, gently guide the patient to sit up. You may want to practice this scan a few times to ensure your patient is comfortable with the experience. The Stillness Monitoring functionality is designed to coach the patient to remain still and thereby improve scan quality. This function measures the patient's movement during the scan process. When this mode is activated, coloured lights and a beeping sound will indicate if the patient has moved and will stop when their head has regained its starting position. With your patient in the seated position, select the Stillness mode by pressing the A button before starting the scan. The virtual radiographer will then explain to the patient what will happen while this mode is enabled so they know what to expect and what to do in order to limit their movement. The patient's stillness score will then be displayed on a screen on the wall. Remember at the end of the patient's session to make note of this score by donning the headset and writing the information into your notes. You can then repeat the scan process if required, as before by pressing the triggered button. After conducting the stillness test, guide your patient to a seated position. You should now activate the questionnaire function in order to record how the patient was feeling. Do this by pressing B. Your patient will then be presented with a number of questions and should give their responses to you verbally on a number scale of how they felt, the lower number being unhappy and the higher number being happy. The patient should read out the corresponding number to indicate how they felt, which you should write down in your notes. Move the joystick left and right to move through the questions. You will correlate the answers provided to a series of codes given to you in your supporting reference material. Make note of the corresponding code. This code will indicate how the patient responded to the exposure treatment and whether further sessions will be required. Once the questionnaire is complete, the patient may remove the headset. Remember, if you've conducted the stillness test with your patient, to clean and don the headset and make note of their score. Then select Reset for Next Patient option on the menu. Remove the headset and wipe clean, ready for your next patient.